You see clusters of UFOs around certain areas?
Actually scenes of them.
And you plot
thousands.
them on, you plot them geographically in XY space on the map, and you're seeing from a completely separate data source, which is magnetic field data from the government, a correlation there.
O'Brien has used the 4 criteria of UFO hotspots while researching UFO reports in Sedona.
I tried to look at what commonalities were there from one area to the next area to the next area, and I found out 4 things. One, there appears to be some sort of geophysical anomalies going on there.
Like the magnetic gradients.
There tends to be some sort of legends or just a sense of sacredness. There are sacred sites in areas that have been held in high esteem by the indigenous people. The military is there, and there's some sort of nearby military or government presence, generally. And there seems to be an ongoing history of activity.
The military's presence here is subtle but definite. Many people have spoken of encounters with khaki-uniformed soldiers who prevented them from entering certain sites. 10 years ago, the Forestry Service quietly purchased the Bradshaw Ranch, reputed to be the busiest location for anomalous sightings in the area. The land was immediately posted, and all visitors turned back by guards. Why would a small, out-of-the-way ranch suddenly become a high-security area? Many residents believe that the Forestry Service is acting as a front for the military. To test the claim that the skies over Sedona are regularly home to unearthly visitors, Ted and Jeff set up a camera which will take photographs throughout the night. They train their sights on a mountainous area where activity is being constantly reported.
So Jeff, here we are just underneath Castle Rock. I mean, you can see it right here above us. So we've got 2 camera systems set up. One's a video, one's stills. The still system here, this is cool. It's a automated time delay. Right now it's exposing for 60 seconds. You know, a lot of the testimony is from people who said they were observing UFOs, that they never saw them with the naked eye, but they were using camera equipment. And it's when they reviewed the video or the still after the fact that they saw it. I hope that by leaving this running overnight tonight, we'll capture an awful lot of time on both the video and the still, and we'll review it tomorrow, and maybe we'll get lucky and capture something.
The time-lapse camera is recording the night sky in search of anomalies, and the next morning brings a surprise. Is this a video of a UFO in the Sedona skies? Sedona, Arizona is believed to be one of the most active UFO encounter sites on Earth. Ted and Jeff have set up 2 cameras trained to the night sky in hopes of capturing an anomalous object.
I think we have a pretty good odds of catching something.
The team meets a group of Sedona residents, each of whom claims to have witnessed either UFO or paranormal activity.
I saw a big flash, and I took a series of about 30 photos, and in that I could actually see like a red ball with a blue tail on it.
Do you feel like the energy is concentrated specifically around the various vortex areas, or is all Sedona?
I think it's stronger around the vortexes, but I think that when you're in Sedona, even if you're like not by a vortex, you can still feel the energy, you know, in town.
This gigantic thing that was shaped round like this, and it tilted down towards me, and I saw all these lights, and then it just collapsed in on itself and disappeared.
Is it possible that this Sedona witness saw a UFO event similar to that captured by Dr. Bruce Cornett's camera over the Hudson Valley?
One time saw a big, huge black triangle, made no sound, and then all of a sudden just be gone.
Some of the witnesses believe that the earth energy of the area is responsible for the mysterious light seen dancing in the Sedona Mountains.
I saw 2 crimson orbs of light, spheres. They were about 50 feet across, and these things were alive.
Over the past few years, with digital camera use more widespread, Sedona is quickly being revealed as home to far more anomalous sightings than had been suspected.
You can't see things with the naked eye, and you have a camera set up, and then when you slow the camera down, suddenly you're seeing images that you did not see with the naked eye and did not see at normal speed. When you look at the range of experiences that we've had, it's overwhelming. This is more than a hot spot. It's as if whatever makes Sedona Sedona. It is clearly some kind of an interdimensional gateway.
There are strong magnetic fields in the area which fulfill Chris O'Brien's first criterion for vortexes. Thousands of witnesses of strange phenomena proved the second requirement. The native people believed Sedona was sacred, and tens of thousands of pilgrims to the area attest that the belief is still alive. And the cryptic actions of the military in supposedly acquiring the Bradshaw Ranch fulfill O'Brien's fourth criterion for vortexes. But if Sedona is a UFO vortex, did the team's overnight camera capture any proof? It is overly optimistic to expect to capture a UFO with only one night of filming. But when they examine the tape the next morning, Ted and Jeff realize they've captured several faint anomalies. Unknown lights in the sky seem to move across the frame. Ted concludes that the lights are a commercial plane in the distance, nothing more. This sighting can be explained, but how about the 120 reports of sightings in Arizona filed with the National UFO Research Council in the past year?
Sedona does seem to be, a hotspot, if you will, of this kind of, activity or sightings, let's just say. There are statistically many more testimonial evidence here in Sedona than there are elsewhere. So we know that, and that's fact.
What we don't know far outweighs what we do know, meaning that we don't really have a full understanding of the universe yet. And I know that our knowledge of the planet is still pretty much in its infancy.
I think we lent a certain amount of credibility to that concept that perhaps there are these sort of conductive pathways that lead to certain points on the surface that could bring more current or more electricity to the surface at various positions that may or may not coincide with these vortexes or gateway positions.
We found a lot, and what we found really comported with everything we've been doing scientifically so far, and yet there's so much more we don't know that we can't discount anything.
There could be forces that we have yet to discover that we don't presently recognize.
For every single claim about UFOs or paranormal events occurring at all of these places was real.
Whatever these quote-unquote energies are in this quote-unquote world grid are something that are unmeasurable by scientific instruments, and they're only measurable by people.
The Earth contains dozens of sites associated with strange phenomena and inexplicable experiences. Despite advances in science and technology, all we're often left with is the same sense of awe and wonder our ancestors felt when they too came face to face with the unknown. But in the cases of these UFO hotspots and vortexes, we might be one step closer to the truth if these criteria can not only explain areas of high activity, but predict future sightings. After a worldwide search, we can guess why a UFO might visit these areas. But even so, one question remains. If they are real, what do they want?